slower for the degens in the back. Squad has a multitude of problems. It's not the tanks, not even the mic spam. It's not even the epidemic of blueberry marksman. Nah, dog, it's the radio placement. Every round, every server, some hardcore sweat lord who hasn't touched grass in 2 weeks is ready to lose their mind over where you placed a damn radio. Meanwhile, he's playing solitaire in a bush 9 miles from an objective. You put the radio and hab on point, you're a noob. You put the radio off point, you're throwing. Welcome to the black and white hellhole of radio placement discourse. I'm your purgatory guide, UrsoDoSono, and let's dive in. I've been hearing the argument since Project Reality. Over a decade of arguing. The best part is there's still no agreement. I'm giving you a toolbox on radio and hab placement because the truth is, the best radio placement depends on the objective, your squad's task, and what the radio is supposed to accomplish. I can't wait for all the comments outlining how this is all wrong and how I'm actually giving you bad information. Please tell me how I am wrong. So let's get this out of the way. There's no universal law for placing a radio on or off the objective or placing the hab on or off the objective. It's dependent. Use your brain, people. Higher level thinking. Anyone pretending otherwise is either a stuck-up mortar fobbit or an armored cave dweller pissed they were out of position and got caught out and now needs a repair station. By golly, will they let you know how wrong you were when you placed it. But heaven forbid they ever run any fucking logistics for you. Radio placement is about what your radio is doing for your team. Is it meant to reinforce a strong point, hold a flank, or just stage a push? That's all that matters. That's it. We could pause the video right here if we could think and use critical thinking skills. That's all you need to know. What is your radio doing? Let's take customs office as an example. It's a small cap and there's tons of weird angles and very, very little cover and approaches on all angles. It's such a weird point. If you place the radio outside the objective and the hab outside the objective, you're basically spawning into a marathon that will result in your likely demise. You don't hold customs by jogging back from the tree line. No, you hold it by stacking bodies on corners and choking enemy lanes of approach. So yeah, sometimes on point makes sense because splitting your strength kills your defense in that scenario. That's higher level thinking. Now compare that to an objective like Mutaha police station or intersection. Various approaches, lots of buildings, some verticality, and plenty of flanks. If you put your radio right on the cap, you're just ringing the dinner bell. That thing's gonna get found, fragged, and destroyed. Your defense failed. Why? Well, you should have asked what your objective demands and what your radio can do. This will dictate where the radio needs to be, not where Reddit says it should go. There's no universal placement. There are common placements. There are common placements that competitive players use, but this is public, people. You're lucky to even have anybody place a fucking hab in the first place. If you're placing radios just to place radios and habs, by the dozen, you're more than likely not doing it for the right purpose. You need to ask a better question. What is this radio for? Because not every radio is a spawn point, and not every radio needs to be a radio, and not every spawn point needs to be a fucking radio. Not every spawn point needs to be a radio or hab. Assuming a rally that works for a squad will work for your radio is a scary line of thought. Okay, let me repeat that slightly slower for the degens in the back. Not every spawn point needs to be a radio or hab. Assuming a rally works for a squad and it will work for your radio placement is not correct. Some approaches can sustain no more than a rally. A small trickle of troops, just kind of feeding into the point. It's meant to sneak in and cause problems. Placing a radio and hab on that rally point is just shooting yourself in the foot. You burn their rally, piss them off, and probably lose the radio or hab. Identifying what your radio's purpose should be your very first thought. It should be your very first thought when you wake up in the morning. If your radio is offensive, you should consider the enemy's movement off objectives. Enemies naturally like to follow the white line between two objectives, hence why sometimes you will hear the term white lining it. If you place a radio here or some form of spawn point, it's gonna come under fire very quickly. If you're defending, is the objective best reinforced from a safely defendable location off objective? Or is this invasion, RAS? All of these things need to be considered when your intention is to place a radio and hab. You are taking it upon yourself to gamble with 20 tickets or more. You also need to think about what happens when the enemy finds it. Is it tucked into a valley? Great, now you're getting shelled with mortars. Is it inside a building? Can a vehicle shoot it through the window? Is the radio sticking out of the wall? Use your brain. Think about it. Think. Don't just slap it down. Don't just slap it down. All right? Nobody likes it when you just slap it down. You gotta think about visibility, sound exposure, and survivability in all instances. Radios must be strategic. And if you aren't thinking 2 steps ahead when placing one, then you're risking a lot. It's not just the radio you risk. All the other assets that are involved in that. All the assets involved in your shit show. Are you risking friendly armor trying to support your horrid radio? Or are blueberries getting killed left and right because the hab is getting camped by a tank 9 miles away? I don't know, man. These fucking people. The worst happens. Your radio's found. Well, now what? Maybe it's by a drone, or maybe by a guy with a headset and a god complex who flanked 400 meters just to feel something. Either way, this is another time you gotta use your schnoggin, people. Or for those kids in the back, just to clarify that means your noggin or your brain, your cranium. Good squad leads don't just place a radio, they build a contingency plan. Where's your rally when in comparison to the radio in half? Is it not even placed on the map? I know. Oh, I know. Because I see far too many squad leaders not using their rallies as a support mechanism to their radios, defenses, or offenses. Using it offensively? Offensively. You use it offensively. Fucker. If you gotta fall back, cool. You're good. If not, you gotta make a decision fast. Are you trying to QRF or quick reaction? Well, Sapper would get mad at me because it's a force that's... Are you going to try to get back to it and hold it, replace it, or just cut your losses and let the 20 tickets go? You gotta have all of these things planned out, man. Sometimes reinforcing and holding is the right call, especially if it's near the objective and gives you a foothold. A momentary setback does not always dictate extreme action. Sometimes one random person walks by, or in this case, it's 2 random people walk by your hab and proxy it briefly, but they didn't ever see the hab and they never know where the radio is. They have no idea where the radio is because you're smart enough to put the radio off the hab. Putting them next to each other is not always the best play. It's another thing. Anyway, sometimes you got to redeploy and drop a new radio deeper or safer and cut your losses. But what you don't do is just keep spawning and dying like you're donating tickets to the OWY ticket gods. Okay? Smart squad leaders treat radios like they want to be treated, with thoughtfulness and love. So, the helicopter radio. The squad equivalent of dropping your mixtape at your cousin's wedding because you had too much to drink. It's loud, flashy, and loose. Similarly to your mom last night when I took her home. I get the appeal. Fly in like a hero, drop a radio, slap down a hab, and hope nobody saw you. Except everyone did. Helis are not stealthy. This isn't Metal Gear Solid. If you're placing a radio from a chopper, assume at least one enemy squad knows that you're there. Right? They know exactly what you're doing. It's like waving a giant fucking sign in the sky that says, we're placing a hab, we're placing a radio. A heli radio isn't inherently bad though. It's just not sustainable unless you've got support. Here's when a heli radio works. You're reinforcing an active defense. They need a backup spawn for the team and you need bodies on cap fast. A helicopter just fucking slamming her down could work. It could work, but you got to take into consideration whether or not you can actually hold and support that radio. Take into account the enemy armor, assets available to you, things like that. You use your brain, okay? All you have to do is use your fucking brain. So if you just use your brain, we wouldn't have this conversation. It also works if you've established a strong foothold before the radio is even placed. If you have infantry on the ground or armor in the area actively clearing out that space for you, providing overwatch should be fine. Or as I was slightly alluding to, if it's backed by armor that you trust, that's a big part. You gotta trust the armor because they can leave, and then you're just out there in the field with your pants down and your shit hanging out in front of the enemy right there. Is weird. Nobody likes that. If you're dropping heli radios with no plan, you're not playing squad. You're just role-playing violent Minecraft. Helis are a tactical tool. Use them with a plan, or please do not use them, because nothing says we lost like spawning into a burning rotor blade and a half-baked plan and an enemy tank barrel in your throat already. All right, so we're gonna go over some rules and radio placement principles that have mostly held up to the Reddit overlords. Rule number 1: putting your radio in hab on point is a gamble. Only do this if the objective is small and you're ready to throw everything you've got into the fight to defend that area. Always recommend to have a rally or some form of exit plan for the radio, because we all know it's only a matter of time before it's found, and that ranging shot comes in, or the ZBL drives up right to the fucking hab or radio. Anyway, rule number 2: radio off point, hab on point. It's your safest aggressive play for defense. You'll keep pressure on the objective, and if the hab dies, you're not wiping taking your lifeline with it, you still have the radio. But again, you need a backup spawn because you're splitting your force here, so split it even more to make it stronger. This is where your rally comes into play. If you hold T and go up to the corner right, you'll see the rally right there. Or if you scroll down, I think it's number 7, option number 2, or is it number 6? It's number 6 or 7, option 2, because the other one's the binocular. That's the rally. You need another person with you, then you left click and it places the spawn point right there. It's fucking wonderful. Rule number 3, placing your hab and radio together off point, but this only works great when you're staging an attack or if the terrain and environment play to that strength. You're putting all your eggs into a basket and know every blueberry spawning in on that is definitely not gonna have the same respect that you have with that hab. They're gonna spawn in and start shooting. So you should just know that no one respects habs at all. Nobody pushes off habs then engages. They just like to shoot on the hab. Especially marksmen. They just like to park it right on the hab. Rule number 4, hab off objective and radio on objective is one of the strongest defensive plans that you can have. You are playing a coin flip that the enemy's approach won't be where your hab is. It could get you into hot water pretty quickly though. Remember, backup spawns are your best friend. I like to put the radio on point and then the hab off point, and remember that whole white line discussion. Just don't put it on the white line. Put it on the most sustainable defensive position that isn't lend itself to a good offensive position. It's hard. Radio placements require critical thinking, and that's not a common skill these days. Rule number 5, heli radios are only worth it if they're a part of a bigger plan. Don't just drop and hope. It's not strategy. It's a coin flip. Helicopters are a wonderful tool when used correctly, but my God, people don't know how to use them correctly. Rule 6, don't fuck other squads by dropping a radio and hab on their rally. That's just bad manners, and it's gonna blow up faster than Thanksgiving dinner when Grandpa brings up the election. All right, nobody wants that. Just eat your fucking turkey, shut the fuck up, and enjoy the pie. Thank you. These are guidelines, not commandments. These are just some general rules to get people thinking when placing a radio, because I don't think we're thinking these days. Squad is about adapting, not following formulas. That's why we've been arguing for years, or at least a decade. There's still no right answer. On point for holding, off point for flexibility. Fallbacks wins games. Helicopters are loud. Don't put your radio in the open like these following images. That's just fucking terrible. Don't even place it. You're not getting anything out of it. Final thoughts. If you're gonna take one thing from this video, let it be this. Radios aren't inherently right or wrong. Your use of them dictates that. Use your brain and think just a little about what the purpose of your radio is doing, all right? There's no universal answer, just a whole lot of decisions that either support your fight or set you up for failure. I've been in the game for over a decade, from Project Reality to now. This debate has never gone away, and that's because there's no correct placement, only good thinking. So next time someone screams at you about your radio placement, just ask, what's it serving? I'm sure their response will be calm, measured, and definitely not grounds for a toxicity report. If this helps and you enjoyed my sassiness, hit that like button and subscribe. It lets me know that you want more of this kind of snarky tutorial, and I kind of enjoy doing it. Subscribe if you haven't, and drop a comment with either the worst radio you ever seen or a sneaky radio placement that you enjoy. I'm Urso. Stay tactical, stay together, and stop putting your radio in the open. It's a spawn point, not a sacrifice to the optimization gods.